So I'm back with part 2 of digging into the United States Virgin Islands civil case against Epstein's estate and all of his companies. A quick disclaimer, all information shown is from public legal documents. These are allegations only. The case was settled without admission of wrongdoing. With that being said, let's get into it. So as you can see, there are several LLCs that are involved in this. Also that 1953 trust that, don't forget on my last video, received a $112 million tax refund this year. Yeah, still mad about that one. Anyways, back to this. Bank records show that virtually all of Southern Trust Company's income came from a single source. Okay, so that means somebody put a bunch of money in there, $158 million. That $158 million was 85% of the total revenues. So that initial big chunk that was put in there, most likely by Epstein. There was a lot of these different LLCs that were created that I'm going to show you, but no other entity of Epstein's enterprise generated revenues. Funds received from the single source were funneled at the direction of Richard Kahn and Darren Indyke to Epstein's personal accounts and other Epstein entities to fund his criminal activity, allegedly. These entities held properties, which included Little St. James, which was aka Epstein Island, and Great St. James, which was land very close to Little St. James, Epstein Island, to help him, traffic. With these LLCs, he served as president, member, manager, or director of each of these entities. And again, none of them were making revenue. And we'll quickly go through all those entities. So we have Nautilus, I'm probably saying that wrong, that owns Little St. James. A Hyperion Air was listed as a holding asset. That was helicopters that he used to transport back and forth. He was also a passive investor to American Yacht Harbor, which was the harbor where he would take his boat to the island. So he had a chunk in there. Plan D owns one or more of the airplanes and helicopters that Epstein allegedly used to transport young women and children to and from his island. Cypress Inc. owns the property in New Mexico. Maple Inc. owns the property in New York. Laurel Inc. owns the Palm Beach property. Here is Poplar, and that owns Great St. James. So basically what this is kind of laying out in these allegations is saying that he used a lot of these as ways to move around his money. And this is also essentially saying that he would use this money to pay individuals involved in the trafficking scheme. So he set up what looks to be like shell companies to make it difficult to trace the money. He was able to move people in and out of the island under his control. We're going to get into how the trafficking allegedly worked. So trigger warning. This is what the Attorney General of the Virgin Islands is accusing him of. As recent as 2018, air traffic controllers and other airport personnel reported seeing Epstein leave his plane with young girls, some of whom appear to be between the ages of 11 and 18. Apparently, Epstein Enterprises kept a computerized list of underage girls who were in or proximate to the Virgin Islands. Epstein forced underage victims to recruit others to perform services and engage in acts. The Epstein Enterprises paid girls for each meeting with additional money if they brought back additional girls. Epstein reportedly required 3 meetings per day. What? Epstein brought victims to business meetings where they were often required to massage his feet or run errands. Many of them did not speak English, which was Epstein's preferred since they spoke less. Epstein sent these victims out to nightclubs or on shopping trips to try to identify and recruit other young women and girls, at times paying them a fee for each recruit. It was a whole pyramid scheme. If they're having to recruit and have 3 meetings a day, how many women were involved in this?